All right, so 6.3, we are talking square root functions and inequalities. So the first part of our notes today is just about graphing these square root functions and finding the domain and range. The second half of this lesson is basically doing the same thing, but with inequalities. So we're going to have to shade. So you guys have like shading stuff, you know, you can go ahead and grab that too. And yeah, that'll be helpful with the second half of our lesson today. All right, so let's jump right in. So square root function. A square root function is a function that contains a square root. Well, duh. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Now we're going to talk about domain and range. Now, specifically, the domain of a square root. All right, the domain of a square root is those values for which the radicand. All right, now radicand is just what is inside the radical. That's what the radicand is. All right, whatever is inside the radical, that's called the radicand. And to find domain, it's just whatever is inside the square root has to be greater than or equal to 0. All right, so whatever is inside the square root just has to be greater than or equal to 0, or else it turns imaginary. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to look at what's known as the parent function. All right, so we're going to graph this parent function, y is equal to rad x. And parent function just means like the most basic, all right, the most basic, not in a bad way, but the most basic function where it's, you know, nothing's being added, nothing's being subtracted or multiplied. It's just rad x. All right, and then we're going to state the domain and range. All right, so let's do the graph first. I think it's always nice to see the visual before we do the domain and range. So I'm going to call in a bunch of people and just help me out by simplifying what we plug in. Okay, so let's start with when x is 0. All right, so when x is 0, when I plug it into that function, Faith, what do I get when I plug in 0?
0.
0. Yep, that's it. Okay, so rad 0 is just 0. Gavin, what do we get when we plug in x is 1?
1.
1, perfect. All right, Queenie, what happens when we plug in 4?
2.
2, good. And Caitlin, what do we get when we plug in 9?
3.
3, perfect. And anyone, what happens when we plug in -1?
You get I.
Ooh, nice, Raheel. You get I. Rad -1 is I. Now, do you guys know how to graph I? Because I don't know how to graph I. Okay, so this is why the domain is that x has to stay positive or 0, 0 or above, right? Because we get imaginary numbers once whatever is inside the radical goes negative. So can't graph it. Let's plug in these points and let's see what kind of graph we get. All right, so 0, 0, we get that. 1, 1, we get this point. 4, 2, we got this point. And 9, 3, I can't quite fit. So I'm just gonna pretend I hit 9, 3 way out here. So I'll do a little arrow. All right, guys, that is the graph for a square root function. What does that look like to you guys? Like if you were to describe what this like graph looks like, what would you say that looks like to you?
Half of a parabola.
Ooh, yeah, Gio, nice. Half a parabola, right? Like if it was a sideways parabola, right? It's like half of that. Nice. Anybody else see anything? I don't know. What does that look like to you? I don't know, it looks kind of like a wave. I don't know, like kind of like a wave breaking. It's like here, yeah. So whatever it looks like to you, that's what it is. Okay. All right, let's do domain and range for this guy. Domain, when you look at that, right? Domain is always asking X values. So think about what X values are on this graph. And go ahead and tell me what you think the domain is, either in the chat box or you can unmute yourself. Feel free to try out the domain. Let's try the chat box. Yeah, let's go chat box. So everybody go ahead and put what you think the domain is in the chat box. Okay. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. Uh-huh. 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 Good, good. Okay. 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 Nice. Nice. Ooh, nice with notation. Good. Good. Ooh, good job. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of right answers. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop there. If you're still thinking, you know, it's okay. Keep kind of thinking through it. I think the most common answers I saw were these two. All real numbers, x is greater than or equal to 0. Does anyone want to explain why their answer is the right one?
It's x is greater than 0 or equal to 0 because it doesn't extend the other way.
Good, nicely done. The answer is x is greater than or equal to 0 because notice the graph stops right here, right? That's an endpoint. There's no graph, like there's none of the graph goes beyond or to the left of that. It starts at that point and goes to the right. So that's when x is greater than or equals 0. Nicely done. Okay, let's try the same thing for range. So go ahead, put in the chat box what you guys think the range is. Good. Got one right answer. Got two right answers. Three right answers. 4. 5. Good. Okay. 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 All right. Not bad. Again, I think the two answers that I'm seeing mostly are this one and this one. So y is greater than or equal to 0 or all real numbers. Okay. So Luke, you switched from one to the other. So tell me why. How did you know to switch to the right answer?
Well, there's only half of the parabola. So if it was like a full one, it would be all real numbers. But since there's only half, it would be y is greater than or equal to 0.
Good. That's the right answer because this is a starting point, right? And there's no graph below that green point. There's no negative y's on this graph. They're all from 0 and above. So that would be y is greater than or equal to 0. And that is your range. Good job. Okay, any questions? Put it in the chat or unmute yourself. All right, well, that is the parent function. So that is your foundation. Now we are going to graph all sorts of radicals, okay? Now I have a little trick for you guys for this. And to make life easier, I would do this. To graph a square root function, make the radicand equal to perfect squares. So like 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. That just makes your numbers come out real clean and easy to plot. So that is my advice for these, okay? All right, so let me show, and I'm gonna call on people to help me graph this one. Y is equal to 2 rad x. Oh, the range was y is greater than or equal to 0. Right there. That was the range. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so to graph this, first thing, set up a t-chart. We got x and we got y, right? So x, we're gonna make perfect squares. So 0, 1, 4, 9. And y is 2 rad x. Okay, so let's plug in these x values and get our y. All right, so Maya, I'm gonna have you plug in the first one for us. So Maya, what happens when we plug in 0?
Would it still be 0?
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. You get rad 0, which is 0, and then 2 times 0 is still 0. So perfect, 0. Okay, Jamie, what happens when we plug in 1?
Can you hear me? I think I got it fixed, right?
It works.
Finally.
Good job. Okay, Jamie, what happens when we plug in 1?
It would be 2 times rad 1, which, yeah.
Oh, which is?
2 times rad 1 is, wouldn't that still be 2?
Perfect. Nicely done. All right. And that is your point right there. Let's go to Raheel. Plug in 4. And what do we get?
Do you get 4 as well?
As well, yes, you do. Good job. So we get 4, 4. That's that point right there. And let's go last one. Luke, plug in 9.
9 squared would be 3, and then times that by 2 is 6.
Perfect. All right. So 9, 6. Oh, I've run out of room. So can't plot that, but I know it's going to be somewhere out here. So I'll hope that my arrow goes through it. Beautiful. Okay. So that is your graph. Okay. So use nice numbers, perfect squares. All right. Simplify and then plot the points to get your graph. Okay. Let's try domain and range. Let's do it all at once. So go ahead and type in the chat what you think the domain and range are. All right, good, 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 good. Okay, 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 okay. Ooh, nice. All right, good. Good. Somebody was very clever in how they shortened their answer. Good. Nice. Okay. I think most of you guys got it. There's still some people who are thinking like all real numbers. It is not all real numbers for these guys. Okay. The graph stops at this point. So domain and range, there's going to be a limit. Okay. So it is the exact same as before. So some people were just saying like same as before. So yes, the starting point is at 0, 0. And it's going up and to the right. So domain, right, is going to be x is greater than or equal to 0, right? Because that's your starting point at x is 0, and then it goes that way. And then the range, I'll do this in red. Your starting point is here, and it goes up, right? As the graph is going this way, it's actually going up. So then range is going to be y is greater than or equal to 0. All right, now, I think some people might think, oh, is that always going to be the domain and range for all of these? Well, wouldn't that be nice? It would be so much simpler, right? Unfortunately, that is not the case. Domain and range is not always going to be just x is greater than 0, y is greater than or equal to 0. But I will give you a hint or a trick on how to do it. And it all is, it all hinges about what is that starting point. Okay. If you know that starting point, these numbers are going to be the same numbers in your domain and range. Okay. So look at the coordinates of your starting point. Those will be the numbers in your domain and range. Okay. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Okay. So let me show you one where the domain and range is not exactly the same. Okay. Let's do number 2. All right, so number 2, notice the radicand is a little different. The radicand is x minus 3. So I'm going to set up a chart, but it's going to be a little more than just xy. In my chart, I'm actually going to put the entire radicand x minus 3. And I want that to equal my nice perfect squares of 0, 1, 1, 4, 9. Okay. But I need to know what x values, right? I need to know what x values get me the radicand of 0, 1, 4, 9. So somebody tell me or put in the chat, what x value, what does x have to be so that this radicand is equal to 0? Oh, wow. Good job. Okay. Somebody gave me like all of them. Good. Oh, okay. Wow. Good job, guys. Yep. 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 Oh, good. Good correction. Nice. All right. Yeah. So 3. Perfect. All right. So 3. So if x is 3, right? So in my mind, I'll put this in parentheses down here. In my mind, I'm thinking x minus 3, I need to equal to 0, right? To get this. For x minus 3 to equal to 0, x has to equal to 3. All right. So that's what I'm thinking in my mind. All right. Let's try the next one. X minus 3 is equal to 1. What does x have to be? Go. Good. Yep. Yep. Nope. Yep. Yep. Nope. Yep. 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 Okay. So answer is 4. Answer is 4. Here's an easier way to think of it, guys. To get from x minus 3 to x, we just add 3. Right? To get from x minus 3 back to just x, you add 3. So here you just add 3. We add 3. Okay? Try the next one. All right? X minus 3 is 4. What is x? Go for it. Good. Yes, 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 yes. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. 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 Good. Somebody gave the both of them, the next 2. Good. Yes. Okay. You guys got it. Good. 7. Yes. Good. All right. Give me the last one. Last one. Good. 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 Yep. 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 You got it. You got it. You guys got it. Perfect. Okay. So 3, 4, 7, 12. Nice. Those are your x coordinates. Okay. So what I just found was those are the numbers that x have to be so that what's inside my radical comes out to be these nice numbers, 0, 1, 4, 9. Okay. Now to find the plots, the points to plot, I also need to find out y. All right. So y is equal to rad x minus 3. Okay. So here, when x was 3, right, my radicand was 0. So this is just rad 0 slash 0. All right. This one is rad 1. So that's 1. And by the way, these numbers I'm getting here are these. Okay. So then this next one is rad 4. So that's just 2. And then rad 9 I get 3. All right, so then now I have my points I can plot. So these are my x's, and these are my y coordinates. Okay, so let's plot those. We got 3, 0, 4, 1, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh, 7, 2, and then I run out of room. And there's your graph. Okay. All right. And by the way, the better you get at it, the less work you're going to have to show in that table. Okay. So hopefully this is like the max amount of work you guys will show in the table. I think after you get pretty good at it, you're going to be able to do a lot of that in your head, hopefully. Okay. Let's do domain and range. Let's do domain first. Okay, guys. Try out the domain. This one's a little bit different. See what you get. And if you think you got it, you can put it in the chat. And I want to see if we can get some people. Ooh, good. Yes. 1 right answer, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. All right. Everybody who put in their chat so far, perfect. Good, good. Nice. Oh, no on that one. Oh, okay. We're close. Close. Okay, domain, just domain right now, guys. So if you guys are giving me range right now, I just want to focus on the domain. It's okay. It's okay. All right, good. Okay, okay. So I'm getting a few different answers, but I think the vast majority, I think, is getting it. 2 main answers I'm getting are x is greater than or equal to 0 and x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so I'm getting those 2 answers mainly. I'm also getting x is less than or equal to 3. So the correct answer is in there. All right. Can anybody explain which is the right answer and why?
X is greater than or equal to 3.
Good. And why is this one the right answer, Gio?
Because you're not going at, or your first X is at 3 and you're going to the right, so it can't be below 3, so it has to be 3 or more.
Good. So your x is 3 and you're going to the right when you graph. So that means your graph has x values 3 or more. All right, good. So x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay. Let's see, switch them. Oh, it's okay. All right. Oh, I'm looking at time and I don't want to run out. So can somebody just tell me what the range is? I think a bunch of people got it right in the chat already. So can somebody just unmute themselves and just tell me what the range is? You guys are all getting it right in the chat. So you can just go ahead and tell me.
Y greater than or equal to 3.
Oh, close.
0.
0.
Y greater than.
Oh yeah, 0.
0. Okay, good. I was like, I thought you got it
Yeah.
right in the chat. Yeah. So y is greater than or equal to 0. So why is it 0, Michael?
Oh yeah, because the y is at 0.
Yeah, the y
Yeah.
coordinate's 0. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can use this starting point. It's really, really helpful, right? You can definitely use that in your domain and range. Okay. Great job, guys. You guys are crushing it. Okay. Any questions? Put it in the chat. And if not, let me do, let me do another example, but not this one. Let's do the one on the back, because I think that one's a little more difficult. Yeah, let's do this one. This one's definitely a lot more challenging. Okay, so let's see what happens with this one. Okay, so first up, put whatever is in the radical in your chart. And then we're going to set that equal to these nice perfect squares. All right, so it's always 0, 1, 4, 9. That doesn't change. All right, so 0, 1, 4, 9. Now, what makes this a little trickier is that it's a little harder to figure out what x is. So I'll give you guys options. If you want, you can actually set up equations like 2x minus 3, I want it to equal to 0, right, for this first one. So you can actually just solve for x, and that is your answer. Okay, let me do that one more time. So when I want this, next one I want it to equal to 1. So I'm going to set 2x minus 3 is equal to 1. Add the 3, divide the 2, and you can do it that way. Okay. I am totally okay with you guys doing it that way. I think it's great. I think it, gets you to the right answer. The only negative is that it takes a little while, right? And it takes a lot of space. So if you want to kind of expedite it, all right, make it go a little faster, you can just think like, okay, each time, right, you're doing this, you are adding 3 and dividing 2, right? You're adding 3 and divide 2. So you can just kind of like maybe mentally do that a little bit. So we can just think we are adding 3, divide by 2. Okay, so 4 plus 3 is 7, divide by 2, gets me 7 over 2. All right, and then 9 plus 3 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. All right, so that's just another way you can do that, okay? Let me pause real quick and see if there's any questions about finding these x coordinates. Okay, all right. Then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and find my y. So y is negative rad, whatever's in the radicand. So that means this is gonna be negative rad 0. This is gonna be negative rad 1, negative rad 4, negative rad 9. Okay, so remember these numbers I get from here. Okay, so just simplify that and we are ready to plot. So this is just 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. All right, so these are my x coordinates and these are my y coordinates. And we just plot those into the graph. All right, so 1.5, 0 puts me right around there. 2, negative 1, it's right there. 7 over 2, that's 3.5. So 3.5, negative 2, it's right there. And then 6, negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 3, right there. All right, so that is a little bit different than we're used to. All right, but yes, the wave can go down. The wave can go down. Okay. Domain and range. Ooh, this is gonna be tricky. Let's see who can get it. Try it out. Even if you're not sure, put in the chat. Let's start with domain. What do you guys think the domain is? Good job. Nice. Ooh, super close. Yes. Okay, one person just had the wrong inequality. Okay, so careful which direction. Ooh, nice. Good, good, good. Wow, you guys are doing great. That's awesome. Good. Nice. All right. I think I see a lull. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let me go ahead and Let's see. Colby, go ahead and tell us what's the right answer. You got it.
X is greater than or equal to 3/2.
Perfect. That is it, guys. Greater than, I know some people put less than because it looks like it's going down, right? But when you're talking about the x-axis, it's not about up or down. It's left or right, right? X-axis is horizontal. It's going to the right. So that's why it's greater than, okay? Up or down, that's y-axis stuff. All right, so try the range. All right, guys, go ahead and put in the range. I know some of you guys already did. Go ahead and put in the range again. Let's see what we got. Okay, okay. Good, good, nice. You guys are crushing it. Great job. Yep. Okay, good. I think the only thing I'm seeing is some people are putting greater than, some people are putting less than. Okay, let's see. Gavin, can you explain why it's less than? Because you put less than, which is correct. Why is it less than?
Because the entire arc is going downwards below 0.
Exactly. It's going down. It's going down. So y-axis, right, going down is less than 0. Okay. So final answer, y is less than or equal to 0. Great job, guys. I saw a lot of correct answers on that one. So good. All right. And that is that. Great job, everybody. Questions before we finish this off with some shading? Put it in the chat if you got some questions, or you can unmute yourself. And that works too. By the way, quick question. Somebody told me that yellow is hard to see. Is that true? Is this yellow hard to see? Okay, somebody said no in the chat. No, no. Oh, okay. Maybe that person was colorblind. Sometimes. Oh, okay. All right, I will try not to use yellow too much, but I like having more color options. All right, thank you. I was just curious. Okay, so graphing inequalities, we're shading, okay? So the only thing I would say is, you know, put a little reminder for yourself. Don't forget solid or dashed. This is the #1 careless mistake that I see all the time. So try your best to not forget when you graph inequalities, solid or dashed, okay? All right, let me show these and you guys can help me out too. All right, so the first step is always just graph it. Oops, -5. Set that equal to your perfect squares. All right, so first thing is just graph it like it was an equal sign, okay? Let me call on people. Hopefully you guys are feeling a little more comfortable with these. So tell me what these X values should be. All right, Sophia, start with the first one. What should that first X be if X -5 is 0?
Would it be 5?
Good, yes, 5, nice. Heidi, try the next one. X -5 is 1, what should X be?
6.
Perfect, good job. All right, what about the next one, Geo?
9.
9, good. And the last one, Maddie.
Okay. 14.
Good, yes, awesome. All right, and if you guys are like, whoa, what the, how did all those numbers pop up? To get to just X, we are adding 5. All right, we're adding 5. So just add 5 each time and you'll get those numbers. Okay, so now get the y coordinates. We're gonna plug in. All right, so this is my y. Okay, so it's gonna be rad 0 plus 4. So that's just 4. Plug in 1 and rad 1 plus 4 is just 5. Plug in 4 and I get 2 plus 4, which is 6. All right, and I'll show this one, rad 9 plus 4, that gets me 7. All right, so 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that turned out nice. All right, so 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like a Pizza Hut sign on sideways. All right, so let's graph. And okay, I'll use green first. Plot those points. 5, 4, 6, 5, and 9, 6. I don't think I could fit 9, 6. All right, I'll just stop there and draw my graph. Oh, actually, I forgot. Solid or dashed? What do you guys think?
Solid,
Solid, good. Why solid, Gio? Nice, Michael.
because it's less than or equal to.
Yeah, it has the equal to. So yeah, I forget too. I have to like catch myself. Oh, somebody gave me domain. Don't worry about the domain right now. This is just graph. Just graph. Okay. But thank you. So now we need to shade. This is less than or equal to. So I'm going to shade below. So this is how you guys are going to do it. Draw a line straight down from the starting point, because it's less than, go down, and then shade below the graph. And that's it. All right, questions? Let me know, put in the chat or unmute yourself.
Miss L, I have a question.
Go for it.
When you were plugging in the y, like the points to get the y coordinate,
Yeah.
why didn't you plug in like 5, 6, and 9? Because aren't those the x? Like, what did you plug in to get the y coordinates?
Oh, basically I kind of shortcutted a little bit because y is rad x minus 5 plus 4, right? So like, for example, if I were to plug in 6, I get 6 minus 5 plus 4. I get rad 1 plus 4 to get 5.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right? But the reason why I got 6 was because I wanted what was inside the radical to equal to 1. So I basically skipped these steps and went straight to this step.
Okay, and okay, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, great question. Thank you. All right, let me do number 6. And I think that's all the time we have. Okay. So number 6, let me just do this quickly. I'm not going to call on people, so just listen very carefully. All right, so number 6. I have 3x plus 4. I want to be 0, 1, 4, 9. Let's figure out what x's will equal to that. Now to do that, I know I'm going to be subtracting 4 and dividing 3 to get back to just x, right? So I'm going to subtract 4, divide by 3. That gets me 0. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. That gets me negative 4 over 3. Sorry. Subtract 4 divided by 3. Subtract 4, I get 1 minus 4, which is negative 3. Divide by 3 gets me negative 1. 4 minus 4 divided by 3 gets me 0. And this gets me 5 over 3. Okay. Now plug that in for y. So y is 3x plus 4. It's just the rad of these numbers. So that's just going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. All right, so let me plug those in. -1 1/3, 0. I have -1, 1, 0, 2. And then 5/3, that's like 1 2/3 and 3. All right, so I'm graphing these coordinate points right here. Okay, now because it is just greater than, there's no equal to, I have a dashed line. And because it's greater than, I'm going to shade above. So starting point, draw a vertical line straight up from that starting point, and then shade above the graph. All right, that first vertical line that you draw is super important. So make sure you find the starting point and draw, if it's greater than, straight up. If it's less than, go down and then shade. Okay. All right, guys, that's all the time we have. So if you have questions, stick around. If not, practice with homework, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.